Hi, everyone. Welcome to the season of Mabon, this time of mid-autumn that leads us into the late autumn, early winter at Samhain. And this season is marked by the threshold of autumn equinox, which we have just moved through, where we find equilibrium and balance of both day and night, as well as the activity of our inner and our outer lives. So there's this beginning to draw inwards, to turn into reflection and gratitude and appreciation. And we're drawing away from that high solar activity of the summertime, which is like full growth, full light, full onness. And so, right around Lammas, early August, and especially now, I just feel more relief in my nervous system and my psyche and my breath, like around, okay, now there's a balance of inner and outer. Really like remembering that um, equanimity of day and night and above and below and inner and outer. And we're like holding this space of balance. So, we're moving from that high solar time and we're at that sweet spot before we are tilting towards the lunar part of the year, which has its own unique qualities and medicines. And so this time is really an opportunity for sharing, for harvesting, for receiving with gratitude, appreciation, for making continual offerings to the earth and thanksgiving for all that we have received and experienced. And one really great way to honor this time of year is to have a gathering, like host a potluck, inviting family and friends, like developing community. In the nature connection compass of the year, we're in the west, the time of twilight, the time of sunsetting. And at this direction of the west, it's really like a gathering at the end of the day. So we've been out in the fullness of each of our individual lives, and now it's an opportunity to come together and share. So it's sharing stories, it's sharing songs, it's sharing wisdom, it's sharing food, it's sharing gifts, it's sharing things that we are complete with, whether it's items or clothes or anything that we feel like we're ready to circulate and move on and let it have another life somewhere else. So hosting a potluck where people might also bring items for a giveaway is a really beautiful opportunity to honor the season. Also, going on a wander and just letting yourself be in the appreciation of the mid-autumn beauty and gathering up leaves. And we like to make bouquets of leaves in my home. And so, as we let go of the flowering beings, there's still like some lovely goldenrods, and I still have some zinnias and a little bit of anise. And so, gathering all of those and accenting them or bringing those leaves in to be bouquets on your seasonal altar. And so we're moving into the seasonal altar of expressing that balance of day and night, light and dark, the acorns, the nuts, the seeds, the fruits, and the vegetables of this time. We're bringing in the squashes, we're bringing in the pomegranates and the apples and the figs, and just letting them be an offering on the altar as well as, something to make and to share. This is the time for pickling and preserving, and think of that not just in a literal context of what you're doing in the kitchen and preparing to put things into the storehouse, but also how are we preserving the memories, the experiences, the gifts of this year up to this moment. So when we're in those more solitary times of winter, we can draw upon the storehouse of our psyche to rehydrate and to nourish ourselves when things feel a little bit more um, lonesome and less active and more inwards. So think of like the storehouse of your being, of what do you want to preserve and have be available when it's needed, especially in the arena of sweet memories. And so this time, as we begin to notice the shift of the day and the night, as well as the leaves are beginning to turn, the plants are beginning to turn, they are drawing in their life force energy from the leaves and the branches. So from being so out there, becoming more inward. So this time also shows us, reflects a shift in where is our attention and where is our orientation. And it's becoming again more within ourselves versus the activity of that high solar time, high active summer. So as the life force is drawing in, that's what begins to change the colors and inviting in the letting go of what's not needed. The leaves fall to the ground, the are less fruitful. They're beginning to bring their life force in to start that journey down into the root systems. So we also get to look at what is no longer serving, what can we let go of. And another way to ritualize this is to gather a bunch of leaves and to write on a leaf, one thing that you're letting go of and offer it back to the earth. Let the autumn winds come and carry it away. And we allow that which we're letting go of to be compost, which, becomes fertilizer and helps support conducive environments for growth come the next growing season. So it's an imperative. It's a deep soul invitation to shed and to let go, to be aware of, like, as I'm turning in, welcoming myself back to myself, coming back into my center in a way that maybe we haven't experienced since across the wheel in early spring, to draw inwards with reflection and contemplation and care of replenishment and nourishment and expression of gratitude and appreciation and awareness of what's not needed, what we need to shed to be fully available to drop down into our root systems of the wintertime so that we're receiving the most regenerative opportunity possible. So that's my invitation to you all to honor this season for the next 6 weeks as we tilt towards Samhain, and that's a continuous letting go, a deathing, a composting, and honoring a grief. And so for now, we're in that celebration, that second harvest, that midpoint, the equilibrium of it all. And I wish you much joy of your personal experience in this season. And may it be so fruitful and appreciative and also relieving. Peace and blessings.